1, 2, 3. Hi! Alright, here we go. I am working in my journal. This is still the journal that I got from my friend Letha, and I really like this journal. It's really fun. It's cool to work in. As you can see, there was the blue page from one of my previous videos. I am using this great big old cheap artist brush, artist loft brush from Michaels, and just covering this page with golden gesso. So this page has like a double inclusion, so there's two little tiny flappy doodles right in the middle. So I wasn't real sure what to do with that, but it'll work out. You'll see. So this is red paint. Yep. I'm pretty sure it's Liquitex of some sort. I've stopped keeping track of my supplies. I'm trying to get back into the enjoying the process instead of trying to document everything to share on YouTube. I think that's kind of killed my my artistic vibes. So yeah, I'm trying to just get into the zone of creating and letting it be free and loose, and I have no clue what this is. It's red. It's red. Possibly a quinacridone of some sort. Or as Donna Downey would say, quinacridone. But it's not quinacridone, it's quinacridone. You can tell her I said that.
Yep.
She's still fabulous. So I am just smearing these colors around. As you can see, I've got a black and a white and that red. And I'm just making a mess. I really just wanted to get the paint on my hands and get messy and get just completely covered in paint. And trust me when I say I've never been more covered in paint than I was when I created this video. So I'm just doing some blending or lack of blending. It was drying very quickly. I don't know if it was very dry that day. You know, I do live in the desert, so I don't know. So anywho, I have edited 3 videos this week. 3! He who has not edited videos in months has edited 3 videos this week. So I am very proud of myself. So when I come home, I can, because we're going on vacation, so by the time I get back, by the time you watch this, I'll be home from vacation. We're going on a cruise. And so by the time I get home, I'll be able to just relax and chill, and you will have seen videos. And I'll have time to make some more pages, hopefully. Hopefully I'll have the inspiration. I'm contemplating taking some art supplies with me, so that way I can kind of create on the ship, and maybe I'll record them on my iPhone. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. You know, Imperfect Impulses at Sea. It's like a Saved by the Bell special. You know, when they went to that country club that was like by the ocean, and that's where everyone knew Leah Remini from. And it was good stuff, and that was before Lisa turned into this like crazy wax figurine that she's currently become. She's a mess. If you haven't looked her up, Lark Voorhees, ooh, Lord, it's not cute. It is not cute. So anywho, I'm very excited about vacation, and I'm actually very happy with how this page came out. This page is going to get extremely disgusting before it gets better. But once it gets better, it gets really good. This actually becomes a page I've really come to like, which is surprising because I hated it when it got to the stage it's about to get to. So as you can see, my hands are covered in red paint, and I'm not done. No, I'm not done. So yeah, now we have to close this and smush it and try to get some texture. Okay, that's going to help this, Aaron. Yeah, that's better. That's what was missing. Good job. Or as we say in my house, good job, buddy. Good job, Cole. Good job, buddy. My mom has this like condescending tone of saying good job to someone, and she doesn't mean it, I think. But she says, good job, buddy, and it just sounds like, yay. So, anyway. So I am using a baby wipe, and I'm pulling up some of this paint that was on here, and I'm revealing some of that smushed, blended paint underneath all that red paint. And then I decided to add some of the black paint in. And now I'm doodling with my fingers because I am a hot mess, and why not? And now I'm smushing it with. I'm covered in paint. I told you this was like primal for me. Look, handprints. Primal. I'm telling you, primal. So, but it ended up coming out fun. Watch. You just stay tuned. Don't give up on me yet. So once I had gone and washed my hands, and then I let that paint dry for a minute or two, and then I started pulling some of it up, and then I was like, oh, I kind of dig this like streaky, funky background texture, and that black patch was kind of showing through, and it just created this really imperfect background, which I was like, I think I can do something with this, which up until now I was thinking, oh my god, what am I doing? You know, if you're making art and the whole time you're thinking, I'm good, I'm in control of the supplies aren't in control of me, then you're not doing things right, because the supplies are supposed to freak you out a little bit. I'm just saying, because they they have a mind of their own sometimes. You can know exactly how they're going to react, and then you go to use them, and they react exactly how you didn't expect them to react, and it's like, what? So, anyway, I was spraying through a stencil, the letter stencil, with some permanent distress ink sprays, and these I made. They're homemade with a little bit of fluid matte medium. I have a video on my channel, so be sure to check that out. It's actually really cool because it come out permanent. It created this subtle background texture without being too harsh, because normally I would use black or white, and that would have just been so harsh against this background. So now I am using just a little bit of white. I think this was gesso, and I'm just using it through an Wow Studio stencil with is that a sponge? No, it's not even a sponge. It is a baby wipe. I am using a baby wipe and pouncing the color through because I was too lazy to get up and get a makeup sponge. And as you can see, I'm just using the stencil to create some random spots here and there. And then I thought it was cool. It kind of looks very like street art. It's very kind of modern and funky. I like it. So then I took my black. This is a... Oh god, the name just totally ran away from me. I've used them like a million times. Those little brown ones. See? It's one of those little brown ones. I don't know. You know what? It doesn't matter because it ended up getting clogged on this page anyway, and I find that these get messed up very easily anyway. I keep wanting to say zig, and it's not zig. Oh, now I'm going to have to pause the videos or the recording so I can go find out. Stay tuned. And the name was Micron. Yeah, I've used that word like 1,000 times. Anyway, so on acrylic, I have mixed results with these. Sometimes they work well, but if the paint's not 100% dry, they get jammed up so easily with that like gummy paint. So they're great pens for sketching and doodling, not so much in mixed media. This is a mixed pit artist pen, and it's, I want to say this is the like calligraphy tip. I wanted something different than just a standard tip, and I'm going in and just very haphazardly outlining these shapes from the stencil. And the reason I did this was just to give even more of kind of a graffitied, haphazard kind of just look to this page, because I thought that's kind of where it was going, and I liked it. I liked where it was going. So as you can see, they're not perfect. The lines intersect one another. They go past where they're supposed to, but I really liked it. So this took me a very long time, so I didn't show you me doing them, all of them. So sorry. And this is my Uniball Signo white pen, and I'm just doing some journaling. This is one of my favorite techniques for getting some background texture. I think that so often our journaling or our writing is forgotten as a means of creating background texture. And if you write really scripty or very loosely, or I love free writing. That's kind of my thing. I just put the pen down on paper and I see what comes out of my head. half the time I don't remember what I wrote. Half the time I'm not thinking about what I'm writing. I'll just kind of think of what this page is making me feel and then go from there. And it's extremely therapeutic. And then it creates some really cool background texture, and it made this page more cohesive because it tied in the white from that stencil design with the white in the pen, and everything just kind of flows. That pen becomes background texture. So I know there's a lot of stencils out there with like scripty words, and even I use scripty stamps. I love it, but you know what? Don't forget your own handwriting can be scripty enough if you write kind of fast and sloppy that it turns into a design element versus being a journaling spot. So keep that in mind. This is seriously becoming one of my favorite techniques for creating background texture. If you haven't noticed, I've been doing this in a lot of my recent videos. So, especially with this white pen, because I think the white is kind of unobtrusive, but prominent at the same time. So, anywho, let's see, what am I doing now? Okay, so this is a little piece of cambric from France Papillon, and I took it and I just sprayed it with a little bit of water. I frayed the edges a little bit, and then I dried it just to make it kind of crumply and make it look a little tattered. This is a little tiny piece of Tim Holtz tissue paper. It's the dictionary one. And so the cambric I stapled down with a tiny attacher, and this tissue paper I glued down using fluid matte medium. Keep it in a squeezy bottle. It's super convenient. It's a little teeny tiny tag, and I tore the bottom off. Not the whole thing. I know Donna Downey tears off. She just likes the top part, which is not my style. I like the whole thing, but sometimes I like kind of a ragged edge at the bottom. So then I crumpled it up, and I used black soot, and I just rubbed the pad right over the top, and it caught those high points, and then it kind of created this feathered look for the rest of it. And then I blew it dry with my heat gun, and then ironed it flat with my iron. And this is my bag o' broken jewelry and other metal embellishments. And these little feathers I used on a different, I believe it was an index card. No, it was a journal page. I used it on a journal page a year or two ago. And so I cut right through these little feather pieces to put on the other page because I didn't need the whole feather. And so I saved the pieces, and now I'm using the pieces. So I used that same red, I think it's cadmium red hue. I'm pretty sure that's cadmium red hue. And so I just put a little tiny bit on the feather just to tinge them, just a smidge, and then I wiped it away a bit. This is Bone Black from Golden Fluid Acrylics, and just a little bit of that to add some more black, and then more of that red right around the edges of that tag. I just put it right on my finger and then edged the tag. And that's just to tie in that red a little bit, because there's going to be almost no red in this little collage element. So I wanted just a touch to tie everything together. These chevrons are paper stencil pieces. They came out of a paper stencil, and I used them in a previous art journal page in the background. I glued them down and then painted over them. And now, instead of being a part of the background, these are kind of a central focus piece. So I'm still using the same thing, which cost me I got these big stack of paper stencils for like $10 at Michael's on sale. So just always be mindful when you're buying stuff. Sometimes you can use it in multiple ways. So these paper stencils have helped me decorate 2 different pages now. I'm using some Tim Holtz Chit Chat stickers, and I am going right around the edges of them, and it says My People. And the whole journaling and everything behind this was about meeting new people, and when you kind of meet a person and find out that they're kind of your people. I am a big weirdo, and not many people really get me, especially when you really get to know me. So when I find someone who kind of just gets me, it's a huge sigh of relief, and I recently found a friend who just gets me. So that's where this page was coming from. So I glued everything down with fluid matte medium, and I put some heavy weights on it and set it aside for a couple days, and it dried, and I was happy with it. So that is the page. So if you're my people and you're a freak and you like to use swear words a lot and you like drag queens and Lady Gaga and you don't judge people, and then you're my kind of people. So you're my people. And I've met a few of them on YouTube. You too, Cole. So, you know what? Celebrate being my people, because you know what? We were born this way, baby. Bye!